When are we going to impeach Joe Biden? And that's what I'm planning to talk about at the conference tomorrow. I've got articles of impeachment ready to go. Privilege resolution. I'm happy to force everyone up here to vote because that's what we should be doing. Absurd. It's absurd. And Republicans want to be like, oh, we're going to be up here passing our 12 separate appropriation bills that are going nowhere, by the way. They're not going nowhere. Biden already said he's going to veto this one, MilCon. So what a waste of time. It's an absolute waste of time. We should be actually doing something because everybody that voted to send us here wants us to do something. And Wednesday, Joe Biden's going to just legalize a permanent invasion with his executive orders.
You mentioned privileged resolution on Biden's.
Yeah, so I got him right there, right here. Privileged resolution of impeachment. I can force a vote this week. Tell you, we're doing MilCon, which I think is a great bill. I'm voting for it, but we already know it's dead on arrival in the Senate. Right. And we know Joe Biden said he's going to veto it. So I've been telling everybody, I don't know why we're here. Honest to God, I don't know why we're here. I don't know why we have to come up here and hold an appropriation committee's hand while they create appropriation bills and then we vote on them and they're dying over there in the Senate. I personally think it's a waste of time.
Every time Marjorie Taylor Greene opens her mouth, something ridiculous comes out. We are reminded every time she speaks that she does not know what the hell she's speaking about.
We have Jamie Raskin in there accusing us of worshiping Trump, worshiping as a convicted felon.
Well, he is a convicted felon.
Well, yes.
It is absolutely ridiculous that Marjorie Taylor Greene can demand the space or the legitimacy that a congressional member should have just to spread lies and also to carry on in this dumbfounded way.
I think she's uninformed. She is a total waste of time. She is a horrible leader. She is dragging our brand down. She, not the Democrats, are the biggest risk to us getting back to a majority.
And those are incredible words.
Do you think that's appropriate? Do the American people deserve to be abused like that, Mr. Fauci? Because you're not doctor. You're Mr. Fauci in my few minutes.
At the House Oversight Committee, Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to suspend reality.
No, I don't need your answer. I want to talk about this right here.
Mr. Chairman,
Fauci,
objection. Mr. Chairman, objection.
I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time, Mr. Raskin.
Gentlelady will suspend.
Democrat Jamie Raskin objected to the belittling of Dr. Fauci, who's an expert on infectious diseases and was a key leader in the U.S. response to COVID-19.
Mr. Chairman,
Point of order.
Just in terms of the rules of decorum, are we allowed to deny that a doctor is a doctor just because we don't want him to be a doctor?
Yes.
The question was for Republican Committee Chairman Brad Wenstrup from Ohio. But before the chair could respond, Greene interrupted again.
Because in my time, that man does not deserve to have a license. As a matter of fact, it should be revoked, and he belongs in prison.
Gentlelady will suspend. The gentlelady should recognize the doctor as a doctor.
Following that instruction from Chairman Wenstrup, California Democrat Robert Garcia raised a point of order.
Go ahead with your point of order.
You got it.
No, I mean, I was going to say what Representative Raskin said. That's completely unacceptable to be able to deny Dr. Fauci, who's here, a respected member of the medical community, his title. And that's actually a personal attack on his character.
And I have instructed her.
He's not respected.
And I've instructed her to address him as a doctor.
I'm not addressing him as doctor. Let's talk about this. I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time.
Words get taken down.
I'm reclaiming my time.
Second that.
Point of order.
Suspend.
All right.
A member can only move to have words. I'm sorry. The issues we are debating are important ones that members feel deeply about. And while vigorous disagreement is part of the legislative process, as I said at the beginning, members are reminded that we must adhere to established standards of decorum in debate. This is a reminder that it is a violation of House rules and the rules of this committee to engage in personalities regarding other members or to question the motives of a colleague. Remarks of that type are not permitted by the rules and are not in keeping with the best traditions of our committee. The chair will enforce these rules of decorum at all times and urges all members to be mindful of their remarks. Does the gentleman from California have anything further?
Well, we should take her words down.
Yeah, I made it. I offered that her words be taken down, Mr. Chair. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a point of order.
Mr. Griffin
they accused us of worshiping President Trump. We don't worship President Trump.
Gentlelady will suspend. Mr. Griffin, you have a point of order.
Mr. Chairman, while it may not be polite, I believe the rule only applies to members of this body, the Senate, and the President of the United States. I do not believe that it applies. The rule on taking down words does not apply to a witness.
That is Republican Morgan Griffith of Virginia.
Again, I'm not condoning the words. I'm just relating or asking whether or not it applies to individuals who are just happen to be here in front of us.
I agree. The chair overrules the point of order by the gentleman from Maryland, but ask that members please afford all other members the respect they're entitled, refrain from using rhetoric that could be construed as an attack on the motives or character of another member or the witness.
Greene then went on to use her 5 minutes of time to criticize Dr. Fauci repeatedly. She held up photos and news outlet headlines to try and hammer Fauci's reputation, and Greene tried to make an issue of Dr. Fauci's email practices.
And let's go back to your very own email. You said earlier you don't use email. Oh, you do. Right here. This is your own email where you said the typical mask you buy in the drugstore is not really effective in keeping out virus. I do not recommend that you wear a mask. This is your email. This is your own words. But yet children all over America were forced to wear masks. Healthy children forced to wear masks, muzzled in their schools. And then they were forced to learn from home because of your so-called science and your medical suggestions, while you and all your cronies get paid from Big Pharma. You know that what this committee should be doing? We should be recommending you to be prosecuted. We should be writing a criminal referral because you should be prosecuted for crimes against humanity. You belong in prison, Dr. Fauci.
Mr. Chairman, I have another point of order.
That is Democratic Congressman Debbie Dingell of Michigan.
Just want to make sure the record is clear. Dr. Fauci testified that he did not use his personal email for official business. He did not say he did not use email. And I think today, this particular has been full of lies and disregard and disrespect, and we need to stick to facts.
After Congresswoman Dingell's diplomatic way of calling Greene a liar, it was then the turn of Democratic Congressman Garcia of California, and he torched Greene while addressing Dr. Fauci.
Dr. Fauci, I am so sorry you just had to sit through that. That was completely irresponsible. Quite frankly, we're hearing, this might be the most insane hearing I've actually attended. I've only been in Congress for a year and a half, but I am so sorry that you are subjected to those level of attacks and insanity.
Unfortunately, unhinged attacks are Marjorie Taylor Greene's MO, and they seem to come nearly every week. Most recently, Greene targeted federal law enforcement officers and claimed they wanted to kill Donald Trump during the raid at Mar-a-Lago. Marjorie Taylor Greene claims the Biden DOJ and FBI were planning to assassinate Trump. What are Republicans going to do about it? Greene pointed to page 11 of the Mar-a-Lago search warrant that says law enforcement officers of the Department of Justice may use deadly force when necessary. And MTG tweeted, the Biden DOJ and FBI were planning to assassinate Trump and gave the green light. CNN's Ellie Honig.
This is ridiculous. There's nothing to see here. It is, if anything, a very tight limit on when you can use lethal force. Almost never. It appears in every search warrant, every operational plan, ops plan.
But Greene also tweeted, were they going to shoot Secret Service, then President Trump, Melania, and Barron too?
There is nothing to this. The notion that there's something dangerous, wrong, I'm hesitant to even dignify the assassination talk by even mentioning it, but completely out of line.
But Greene seems oblivious to it all.
They aren't going to back off of what they are doing.
One day before her lunatic tweet, she went on Alex Jones' InfoWars show and insisted Democrats want Trump killed.
They want President Trump dead. They want to lock him up in jail for the rest of his life so that he dies in jail, and they want to take away his Secret Service protection so that he is murdered somewhere in jail, possibly.
The week before Greene's assassination nonsense, Greene tried to body shame a Democratic congresswoman.
Well, you the one talking about,
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No,
with your
ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order. Mr. Chairman.
That's beneath even your.
The week before that, Greene tried and failed to dump Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson.
This Republican Party is not ready, and they proved it today. As a matter of fact, they proved they're ready to do everything with the Democrats.
This is like the congressional version of a temper tantrum.
Most of us, by the time we turn 12 years old, figure out that tantrums don't actually work. And apparently not everybody in Congress has got the memo.
Ms. Greene, all she wants is attention. And today we shut her down.
Our constituents sent us up here to make very difficult decisions and to govern, not to do a junior high school reality television program.
Greene's latest episode declaring that Dr. Anthony Fauci should be in prison did not sit well with Democrats or Republicans. Lawmakers in both parties told reporters that a new effort should be made to take away Greene's committee assignments. And one Republican lawmaker told reporters that Greene's antics are reason some members of her own party are leaving Congress. Yes, even some Republicans don't want to be associated with Marjorie Taylor Greene, who they describe as a lunatic and an embarrassment. In fact, Greene is even worse, because thanks to her, some of Greene's constituents refused to get a vaccine and died from the COVID-19 virus. In other words, while Dr. Anthony Fauci was using science to save lives, Marjorie Taylor Greene was ridiculing science and literally ending lives. MTG, what a legacy.